Huh. Well, I wonder how I tell if this is working. It looks like it is. 10 seconds. All right. So I don't know if you've ever had one of those times where everything seems to go wrong and be against you. I've been having months like that now. And I giggle about it because it's not that serious. Well, I mean, it's a little serious, but in the scheme of things, not really. So, what's going on now is that I can't record videos. I was going to finally, I felt healthy enough and I was going to get back to recording videos, and my computer is just a disaster. Not even joking. I think I need a new computer, and that's not a fun thought, is it? That's a big expense. So, hopefully I am wrong. That would be lovely if I were wrong. Um but what? I thought I would still get some stuff done and progress. So, here I am, and we're going to do some crafting. And I'm also going to finish my breakfast, which I probably should have done before I pressed play. Well, hello there. Hi there. Welcome or welcome back to the whole bucket. I'm sorry that I sound like a mush mouth, but I am chewing my breakfast, and I was just saying before you got here that I should learn how to finish my breakfast before I push start. Yep. So I have some very important projects to do right now. They were supposed to be done quite a long time ago. In fact, something that I'm going to do today, excuse me, was supposed to be done 6 months ago. Oh my, how ridiculous is that? But one of the projects is new, so I don't feel entirely bad. Um, this is full of kitty hair. I'm going to have to do something about that. But here's the stuff I'm going to use. And in a second, I'm going to get to the project. So this is my, this is tea-dyed paper that I make. I call it confetti paper because I sprinkle the onion skins on like confetti. This is a freebie from Ink and Page Journals, and I printed it wrong. I printed it in the wrong size, and then one of my nozzles was clogged and it came out in really dark, weird colors. This is a printed or a dyed paper from Jen Katie at Jen's or Fiddly Bits. Is that, gosh darn me, brain. Jen, I think Fiddly Bits. This is a promise I made to a friend. So this is from Adria at A Woman with a Weenie. She has been tea dyeing some stuff, and she wanted somebody to try out her tea dyed papers, or coffee dyed actually. And I agreed to do that. And I've had it for a little bit now. I've not been able to do anything. So today's the big day. Today is the big day that we're going to play with this. This is the project that's due right now. This, I think, is the one that printed correctly, isn't it? Then what's that over there? Huh. Oh. Okay, well, I don't know what those are, but I'm not going to use them anyway. So, when I was looking at this, wait, here it is. When I was looking at this stuff that printed wrong, I don't like wasting things, right? But I was thinking, okay, well, what can you do with it? It's so dark. It's hard to see. Hard to tell what it even is. Butterfly. But you don't want to waste it. Okay. And then I was kind of looking at the colors, right? And the colors that do show up are kind of a purpley pink kind of color consistently shows, and the blue kind of shows, and then the rest is just sort of dark and aged and grungy. So I decided this could be a dark romance theme. Dark romantic, something like that. So I pulled out this ball of velour yarn, ribbon, whatever, because it's a purpley pinky kind of color. I pulled out this piece of purple lace because it is purple to the red. So that kind of goes. I pulled out this ink, Pine Needles. I don't know if this is going to work, but there are some teals and greens and stuff in here. And this blue kind of leans a little to the green. I'm not sure if that'll work or not. And then I got black because, you know, I edge everything. Also, if I can find it, they're hiding under there. I have this sticker that is just from some odds and ends that we have for our sale nights, and I thought I would demonstrate how to use these little bits of things, and a couple of wax seals. I thought I pulled out a different color. These are both black and silver. And then I accidentally dropped this on the floor when I was putting stuff away, so I thought, hey, it must want to be used. So I brought that one. Okay. What are we going to make? Well, isn't that always the question? I know one thing that I have to make, and that is a 5x7. 5x7 what? Oh, a set of 4 ATC cards. And then I want to make an envelope and a tag. And then a tiny book. So I'm going to go through, let's go through here and take a look at Adria's papers. It came in this folder. This folder is gorgeous. Look at the good work she does. But I'm looking for dark romance. And I thought this ivy was good. So, and so is this big curve right here, actually. So I'm going to put that piece aside. Whoops, I think I'll put it over here and save it. This one I don't think really goes. Nor this one. I still want to show this because look at the quality here. This birdie might go. And this archway definitely goes. So I'll keep that one aside. Look at all the cool patterns she does. The smell of coffee, though, if that you are averse to the smell of coffee, beware. I happen to love the smell of coffee, but I know some people don't. They get a little sensitive to that. That looks like tickets. Okay, that's a little, probably too, a little too linear thinking. Well, hello, people. But what if you cut this into the strips and made ticket strips out of this? That would be a great background starter. Kind of an already set up project. Dark romance is what I'm looking for. Well, there's dark romance for sure. And this is a maybe, right? Some of this could be dark romance, like this text down here. The moon, la lune, du monde, la luna. Maybe. No, I think I'll put it over here because I'm starting to get too many on the yes side. Oh, look at this one. This one will be fun. I love this one. No. No. Oh, look at the grunge. Look at the grunge. And a big flower. Okay, I think I have the ones I'm going to work with today. And that was a glimpse of Adria's work in coffee dyed papers. Now what? Now the question is, now what? Once you have these, what do, right? Oh my goodness. Well, you reach over to the side. So the ones are put away that you're not using. Here's what I'm going to do to start. So I have all this little bits, but whenever I do a project, I start with the biggest bits first. So the very first thing I think I'm going to do is join these two pieces. And I'm just going to glue them together, like straight up glue them, because I don't want to use any separate cardstock. I want to use just what's right here. So if I glue these two together, right, then it's a little bit heavier. And then this paper is already backed with some paper that is either a good background or words, or light enough for writing on. Yep. I could make it darker though, because I'm going dark romance. I think you can still write on it. Okay, well, let's do that anyway. I gotta reach the giant glue stick. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's Amy. Hello, Amy. How are you? What's new and wonderful? And thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that. Ooh, okay, so easy enough. One giant glue stick. Whole page is covered already, and let's apply this thing. I'm going to do the dark side out. Ooh. Ooh. And I'm going to, okay, it's not going to be perfect to line up because dyed papers get a tad wrinkled, but I'm going to do my best. Whoa. Okay. There we go. Got it. Oh, okay. There's a start. So now I have something a little bit heavier than just a piece of paper. I have a beautiful background from Jen's Dyed Papers. And then I have more Adria papers to work with, and as well as all these misprint bits. There is one other thing I was going to work with, and I forgot. I lost it over here. Oh, cleaning. Blech. You know what? If I can help you take a break, that's awesome. But I'm also willing to sit here and blabber at you to keep you company while you're cleaning. That is totally allowed too. Oh, here, I might have found it. There. That might not seem exciting, but I adore vellum. And I want to use this for the pocket. First thing I'm going to do is cut this because I want to make sure I get my pieces out of it. And the very first piece I'm going to get, just like everything else I do, start with the biggest first, will be the very first piece I'm going to cut is oh my goodness. I don't know about my brain, man. The 5x7. So put this on the 10-inch line and tear it down. There we go. And then that's the 5-inch side. Then I need a 7-inch side. So put this at 8 inches. 8. And then I got a scrap. Oh, I love scraps. Scraps are lovely. Okay, there's my 5x7. I can set that aside. Perfecto. Then I wanted a tag and pocket bit. And it has to be able to utilize this. So let's put the knife down for a second and figure out what we can do here. So if I make a pocket that is 3 inches wide, I can, well, yeah, I could go bigger than that either. Even, what if I did 3.5? And then I could do a 3-inch wide tag, 1, 2, 3, to fit in it. And then I would have this scrap plus a bit off the top of the pocket piece, all for the mini book. I like it. I think that's a plan. Okay, so I'm going to set the mini book parts up there. I'm going to try to get this as straight as possible. And then I'll go 3 inches, 3.5 inches for the pocket part. Yeah, get it as straight as I can, lady. I could get my guillotine trimmer out now, because the pieces I need are smaller than they were, but I seem to be a bum. I seem to be a bit of a bum right now. So we got a 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we have a 3-inch tag. Oh my goodness. You know what? I forgot to take my morning meds. I was wondering why I'm starting to feel all funky. Wow. All right, that can go up there. And then, so if this is the tag and this is the pocket, the vellum will go on the pocket and wrap around. Oh, good. Look at, I can, that flawed part will end up getting glued down. That's handy dandy. Anywho, if this goes around here and the tag goes in, I can trim, wow, I can trim another inch off of this pocket bit. So I'm going to do that. So I have a bunch of scraps. I could even go 1.5 inches. Ooh, how daring. I'll split the difference. I'm going to go 1.25 inches. Oh, too silly. Too silly. Hello, Crafting with Love. How are you? What's new and wonderful? Okay, there we go. So I have a tag piece, a pocket piece, and a vellum cover for the pocket. I have pieces for a mini book, and I have the first piece that we're going to work on today, the 5x7. My first question is, do I want horizontal ATCs or do I want traditional vertical ATCs? Oh, you're going live soon. Well, hang out. This is the pre-show. All right. So I'm not really sure. What I will do to get started is mark off. Oh, I forgot this happened. Ever have something, a mess happen and you just don't want to deal with it, so you just like leave it? That's what I did. Right over there. Right right over there. I forgot that last night my pencil holder with pencils and markers and all kinds of stuff in each section of it fell over, and that I just threw the mess back over in the corner of my desk because I didn't want to deal with it. Okay, so I am doing light 1, 2.5. I'm doing light lines to show me where this will be cut, if it is indeed cut apart into ATCs. The only reason I do that, the only reason I do that is to make sure that the decor that I put on here is balanced. There we go. Try that again. I can draw a line. There we go. I am an artist after all. All right. All right. I think I like horizontal, but I think I'm going to go traditional. Folks. Let's go this way. Greatness has arrived. Hello, Mr. Luke. Oh, we are on a Mom Needs a New Computer campaign. Gosh darn, it stinks, doesn't it? At least I can still go live. I mean, that's something, but who knows when that's going to quit too. Okay, so the next thing to do is add to the background. And I think I'm going to keep it super simple and just use this text bit right here. Oh, there we go. Let's get it all soggy. And then I think I'm just going to fairly random squish. Whoops. Squish. That's a little more random than I intended. I should get my what do you call them out? Acrylic blocks out. But I didn't. So I'm just going to move forward. Just moving forward. That's enough. That's enough anyway. That's all you need for a little bit of background interest. Okay, so then what? I have the lace. I think I'm just going to cut a chunk of this off because it's a pretty big piece. And then I'm going to go over to the garbage can, not go over, but reach over and shake all the Suni off of it. She has been laying on everything I own lately. And there we go. Beautiful. So if you weren't here early, I have a project to do with Adria's coffee dyed papers. So I am doing part of that today. I have this bit right here that is a misprint. I did it the wrong shape, size actually, and one of my printer heads was clogged, so they came out in all the wrong colors. But I don't want to waste it, so I have this, and I've decided to go dark romance. It just made sense with the colors and the designs and stuff. So let's start some layering. I'm going to choose one of these papers to be the tear apart paper. It's got to be one of these. I think I like this one. Oh, also I have this. I think I'm going to use that for the pocket or the tag though. That'll be cool. So let's tear this up. Ah, I don't want to tear Adria's paper. Yes, I do. It'll be all right. Let's do my tearing ruler though, so I can get a little bit of straightness. You know, sort of. I'm tearing this off first and setting it aside because I want to get into the pattern a bit. And then I will tear off another strip. And let's create some interest with this. So I have to think about if this is going to be 4 ATCs, then I need to have a little bit of interest in each section, right? So if I do, I could stick it right in the middle. How boring is that? There. Now if I cut it, each block will have some. But let's put it a little bit wonky. Like so. I'm going to tear it off right here and tear off this end as well so we don't have those straight lines. And I think I'm going to put it like this. What I'm doing with that then is filling in some of these blank areas, right? And creating a situation where the different stamping bits are joined. Also, little tiny bits of this side will be in these two cards. Bigger bits will be in these two cards. I didn't really need to say that part out loud. I bet you guys already figured that out. All right, let's do this. Okay. About like so. About like so. When I do this in any form, I like to stick to the rule of 3. It's not an actual rule. And I'm not the only one who does it. A lot of us do. But for balance purposes, it just makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to put this bigger bit right here for this one. It's a little too much. Tear that off. Crafting with Love, what is your name? Or, you know, should we just call you Crafting? That's okay too. Or do we already know you and not know it? Ooh, that could be. Here, look at this, guys. See how much ink I have on my hands? I always forget that this ink, VersaFine Clair, is a fabulous, wonderful ink, but it dries slow. I never ever remember that. But if you remember that, you will be happier than me. You won't smudge your work and you won't get filthy. Now I want to do a third piece, but here maybe. But then this one isn't as balanced as I'd like it to be. But if I do this, then I've got these two looking the same. That's stupid. Don't like that. What if I did it up here in the corner? I don't like that either. What if I layered it on itself? Could I do that? That's lame. What if I did it this way though? That's still not very exciting. I don't know where to put a third piece. I really like it over here. I might have to do 5. Odd numbers are acceptable. So let's see. If I do this little one right here, because I really like how that balances, right? So I'm going to just commit and do that. About there-ish. then what can I do? So odd numbers, 3 and 5. So I could do this. One thing I have to do though is make sure that I think about what this is going to do for each individual card as well as if it stays a whole card. So if I want to peek, I can do this. There's what it would do for the card. Blech, that's dumb. I don't like that at all. What if I did, come here, you. What if I did this? I like that better. That's more workable to me. Let's see what it does to the whole thing. All right, so I don't mind that. I'm going to take this other little piece over here and see if I can get a 5er in here. Let's see what we can do. Hi, Adria. Don't cry. I'm tearing your paper up. Oh. Okay, so let's see if we can get a 5th piece on, I think, a horizontal bit. I think it would have to join the other two. But that looks dumb. What do I want to do? Huh. You know what? I don't know what I want to do. I think I might layer some of these tiny bits on after we get a little further. So then, if that's that, then what's next? Well, next would be some of this stuff. And there are some that are more, that have a bunch, goodness sakes, that have a bit of teal in them. So let's try to find that. Well, that's pretty with Adria's papers. Oh, that's prettier with Adria's papers. And then I did some fussy cuts. All right, let's do that. Let's tear this up too. Look at that, even kind of matches Adria's papers. Ooh. I don't want to get too matchy-matchy, but that's just lovely, really. All right, same deal. Let's tear this up and put some more bits on. I like that right off the bat. So if this gets cut up, then it's going to mirror that situation, right? And it also joins this and this if it doesn't get cut up. So I like that. No matter what, I like that. So let's go ahead and do that. It is not often that I like something immediately. I'm usually much pickier than that. Just ask Luke. He'll tell you. Adria, would you like to see the papers I'm using for today's projects? I chose this one. I showed the whole envelope, but I got this for this bit right here. And I got this one. I like the birdie and the arches for another project that we're doing right here. And then I got this one. This one's kind of just in case, because I don't think we're doing anything big enough for this arch, but I love this. And I love ivy all the time. So that might end up being used. And this is another one that I thought I might use, but it was kind of either or. So I'm going to keep this out because I'm not sure, but I chose this one for now. So that's what's getting used so far. Okay, so I have one big chunk. Let's take a look at what we got in the way of little things. What do we have? Oh, look at that. That's pretty dramatic. What about, no, I don't like it. No, I don't. Okay, well, I don't like it. Well, that was easy. Ooh, cool idea. Ooh, yuck. That's actually fairly nice right there. If I move it up a bit. All right, then that would mean only one more, and I would want it to be horizontal. So what about this one? Oh, that, okay, Adria, here's the plan. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, so if you are a future person watching this on replay, I apologize. But Miss Adria came in, and I want her to know what I'm thinking and doing with her stuff. So I misprinted a freebie from Ink and Page, and I don't like to waste it. And I needed to do the project with your papers, or at least get started on some. So I pulled those two things together, and then some other things together, and ended up with 3 different projects I want to get done today. And I'm going for a dark romance feel. So that's how I chose which papers to pull out for today's project. I'm having problems with this upper corner though. It's not clicking. It's not clicking with me. Let's see if I maybe tear off a bigger piece of this chunk right here. And I said I want it to be horizontal, and I went and tore it vertical again. Almost. I kind of like that. Don't like that. What if I do there? What if I do there? No. Wow. I'm not liking anything today. I'm a picky little brat. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I am a fussy little brat today. What do you mean today? So I'm doing 3 projects with the papers that I've chosen in this dark romance theme. I'm doing this 8 uncut ATCs. I'm doing a tag and pocket, and I am doing a tiny book. Tiny. All right, wait a minute. What about this guy? I am not in love with that, but I'm not hating it as much as I hated the other things either. So I'm going to decide that this is probably workable. So I'm going to go ahead and put this where I just had it. Otherwise, I will sit and debate this all day and night. And that just gets ridiculous, doesn't it? Sooner or later, you just got to glue something down. Okay, so now when I cut this, it's going to be right there and right there. And that leaves this big corner empty, but it also makes it so it would be good for a focal point. So I guess I'm okay with that. Now we need a third piece of this stuff. And I think I want to try to use this. Oh, I kind of like it right there. I kind of like that. Pull it down a little bit more. Put it up a little bit more. Yikes. Pull it over a little bit more. There we go. So in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to make sure that none of the lines match up very well and none of the spaces are even. So I had it so these two spaces were completely the same. That looked ridiculous because it looked too forced framed. Then I had it lined up where this line, the top of this piece was the same as the top of this piece. I don't like things lined up on purpose. Oh, I had a couple other things I didn't like too, but now I'm happy. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Oh, let's scoot this down a little bit. And then I will trim that off. This is a piece of Jen Katie's Fiddly Bits dyed paper, and this is a piece of my tea-dyed confetti paper. So I'm using a lot of handmade papers on this art piece. Hopefully it'll end up being art. Here we go. Hater Gator, what? Wait a minute, what's up? Adria's leaving? Oh, bye, Adria. Thanks, Amy. I'm glad you like the confetti paper. It is a pretty cool product. I have to admit, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised, but surprised nonetheless when it turned out the way it did the first time. Like, wow. I had no idea what I was doing. And I just threw it on and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to cut the lace and see if we can get a couple of pieces of this going. I maybe should have done the lace first. Maybe the lace should have gone under all this stuff. But I am going to try to find some focal points, so it's okay. First, we should take advantage of this cool edge right here. This cool scallopy bit. Could go like so, or like so, or like so. I definitely should have put this under the other pieces. I'm not happy that I didn't, but I'll work it out. I'm not really sure what to do here. How do you make it look okay and not like I don't know what I'm trying to say, not forced. I know I guess that's like the second time I said that, but rawr. I don't want to make it look like a handle or like an I think I'll do that right there. I think I can work with that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just don't want it to look like I don't know what I don't want it to look like. Apparently I'm having trouble thinking of descriptives. Pull out the liquid glue for this. So I'm going to use this piece of lace to join up this piece with this piece. Just like so. I really need help from, I think it's Mare Lilac Pages. She's the lace queen. Or is it Maggie who's the lace queen? Goodness sakes, I can't remember. One of them, though. Layers lace like nobody's business. And me, I'm just not great at it. This is definitely practice mode right here. I'm kind of cutting out this flower in the lace because I don't like these straight edges. Oh, let's see. Let's muck it up. I should have done that on the other piece. Let's make it a mess. That's always important. Make your stuff a mess. Well, I mean, if you're not Maggie or Mare, whichever lady it is, if you're not the queen of layering laces, muck up the edges and make it a mess. That way it's a mess on purpose. There we go. I think I'll put that right there. Maybe right there. Yes, right there. Right there. Of course, the difference here is I'm not layering the lace specifically, right? I'm layering all kinds of bits. All kinds of bits. Okay, and then 3. We need one more. We need one more. Let's see. Let go. Thank you.
You are so very welcome.
I wasn't talking to her. Oh, did you guys hear that? My dot has a mind of its own sometimes, I swear. Okay, let's not have any straight lines. I don't like that. And then let's muck it up again on purpose because I think that really helped. At least in my mind it did, and that's all that really matters when you're trying to get a background down. Just whatever you think. Okay. I actually did a very big sewing project with this lace fabric, and it was a bear. It was a lot of years ago now, but holy buckets. I don't recommend sewing with laces like this. Okay, so where does this go? Maybe it helps clear, maybe it helps populate that corner up there. Maybe it helps, but not so directly. Yeah, I'm going to do that. This looks a bit contrived, which is something I've mentioned a few times now I'm trying to avoid, but not so much that I think I can't fix it. So I'm going to go right there. Oh, what does last word day mean? Or lost word? Oh, I thought you said it's a last word day, and I'm like, oh no, what? What last word? If it's the last word today, I was thinking it was from the word war between Adria and Luke, and I was wondering who won. I think she might have won because she got to say a thing and then skedaddle right to work. That's funny. I have news for anybody who watches, who's listening now, or who watches in the future. Luke will be planning his revenge. Oh, goodness sakes. Okay. So we have some background stuff. We did a little stamping. We did a little torn bits all over. We did some printed bits and some lace. Now, I cut out some butterflies, and we have a couple flower clusters and a couple books. Of course, look, they're all over the flippin' place. There's another book. There's a candle right there. I'm wondering if I should take out my tray of fussy cuts and die cuts because I don't think this is enough. These are all too similar size, and I don't think there's enough of them for this. I might need something bigger. Oh, let's take a look. So if I did the books, I could do a book and a book. I don't even have to think about it anymore. This is definitely not enough stuff and all too small. Too small. Look at that. Okay, let's throw that aside. One thing we can do though is maybe throw on some of these pieces that didn't get used yet, like so. And like, oh, so there's two candle ones, but there's a library right here. That's pretty cool. Let's see if, oh, a treasure box. Let's put the treasure box on there too. Somewhere. Maybe not, because the horizontals go with the dragonfly. Okay, maybe right there. Then if I pull this one down like so. Nope. What if I put this one over here? Yep. Okay, then I can use all three of them. I can even overlap these two a little bit to make them look like a thing. I kind of like that. I still think I'm going to have to pull out some more fussy cuts, but we're getting closer to a thing that looks done-ish. We can put a butterfly right there. We could put a book maybe up here. Maybe even both books. Where's that other one? Here it is. Let's pull this one down and have that one be up. There we go. Like so. Hey, well, it's curling up. That's looking pretty decent right there. Okay. What if I put the other butterfly like so? I like that too. That's looking decent right there. Yes, I did lose my words. And then apparently I lost the fact that I lost my words. Jeez. I like what's happening here. The problem with what's happening here is it's using up all the bits and pieces, and we have 2 other projects to do. That's all right. I'm going to go ahead and do this because I'm liking the way it looks. I hope you guys are too, because I don't want to sit and make things that are ugly. Wait, there's the candle. I need something right here. Yep. Yep, that works. I like pulling the candle off of the other candles. Makes it look like the whole thing is moving forward. Okay. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to put this on here just to hold this paper down a little bit because it's curling right up. Okay, here we go. Woo! Commitment. I hate the commitment time. There is no turning back now. None. So this guy goes, I can't remember. It's just gonna go like that. And it's apparently glued to my hand instead of the paper. There we go. And then I'll move this over because we got to do the bottom first. That means this guy. And then this guy. Actually, the truth is, I don't care if I make things that are ugly and don't turn out. That might sound ridiculous, but it's true. So the reason it's true is because inspiration can come from a lot of places. And I am here to inspire people to do art because I think everybody should be doing art. And if I inspire people by showing them things they want to do, yay, that's awesome. Copycat or similar or whatever, right? But if I inspire people to do art by doing something that they're like, oh, that's garbage, I can do so much better, I am just as happy. Just as happy. Okay. Now this guy. Yay. I'm going to get this one under here. And then butterfly. I have lace bits stuck to me all over the place. All right. Butterfly. Uh-oh, this way. Okay, I almost forgot. And then candle was going to go here. But look, I messed this up. I messed this corner up right here. I think this is where I get to layer in another piece of Adria paper. Oh, and I see another spot too. Here, I was wondering if I could find places to put these in. I think right here is a spot I could sneak one in to fix that little spot right there that I'm not happy with. Let go of me. Jeez. Okay, so I think we can do that. And then this piece can maybe go up here and just be sneaking. We're living on the edge. Maybe it goes like so. No, it doesn't. Maybe it goes like so. It might have to be like that. Or like this. I'll look at that one in a minute. Let's do this one down here. Top right corner is just being a bear today. Just being a bear. Do you guys watch that show, The Bear? I love that show. Although it's first season and second season. First season was amazing. Second season was good. Third season, it was okay. I wanted to like it more than I did, though. I really, really wanted to. I couldn't give it a glowing report, though. They changed too many things. Okay. It didn't take long, did it? I am filthy. I am full of ink and glue and what? Glue and ink and thready pieces. Okay, so what did I want to do? I wanted to do a couple of things. One, I'm not liking this piece of lace up here, so I wanted to create some sort of bit right here, and I think it's going to have to go behind the books that I've already glued down. Maybe like, oh, shoot, don't wreck it, lady. Maybe like that. And actually, yeah, I like that. So, okay. Stick that under there. Behave. Oh, goodness sakes. I recommend making these decisions before you hit the glue stick. All right. Okay. Now, let's trim that off. Ooh. And we'll trim this one off. And there was one more right here, just this tiny speck. Just this speck right here. Can't catch it all even. It's so tiny. There we go. Okay, so these are not very fancy ATCs, and I have not put any sentiments on, and I don't know if I'm going to. And I could put on more of a words. I could put on more focal point stuff, or a more serious focal point, but I don't think I'm going to. I actually think I'm going to let this dry for a minute. And then I think we're going to cut it up into its 4 cards, and I'll show you how I finish this off. Okay, next project. Let's do a pocket and a tag. So I want the darker bit at the bottom of the tag, so that's going to be the top of the tag. I'm going to bend this, but not crease it. And that's the way I'm going to cut off the corners. Whenever it's possible, that's how I do it. And wouldn't you know, I don't like the angle I chose. So I'm going to snip just a tiny speck off the top here. Excuse me. Off my scissors. I'm just going to cut a sliver off the top there to change that shape a little bit. Okay, there's the tag bit. There is the pocket bit. And let's see what we're going to use here. I thought the gate pieces for the pocket. All right, I still think that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut out down the side and across the bottom. And then, wait till I get it. Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. I'm going to then follow the arch a bit. No, completely, not a bit. I'm going to follow the arch so that whatever I end up with in the window of the pocket has some shape to it. Okay, like so. I don't know how much of this will fit in. If I make it lopsided, which is very unlike me, I can get both arches in. But if I do it lopsided enough, then it looks like it's on purpose, which in this case it is. And I think I want it like that. I think I want to put flowery things on the front of this. So that's what I'm going to do. This is the pocket, remember, so I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the lighter side. That's this side. And then I'm going to position it kind of lopsided. So it looks like the gate continues off, you know, off and away. And then I'm going to try to straighten this out. Got it pretty wonky here. And you know what? I just completely did a fail. I don't want that glued all the way down yet. What I want to do is crease the vellum across the top because I don't like harsh edges where the tags go in. I like them to have a bit of body so they don't get wrecked. And what I want to do is tuck the arches into that fold like so. Here we go. Now it really shows how lopsided it is. Okay. I'm going to just trim the point off of this side a little bit. And I mean really little bit. I don't know who I'm kidding if I say I don't have to have it perfect, because in my brain, yes, it does have to be perfect, but that's ridiculous. But if I trim just a tiny speck off, I can get it at least closer to where my linear brain will accept it. Good grief, I'm ridiculous. There we go. That's what I want to do right there. Now, for the rest, I'm going to trim off the extra arch bit. Uh-oh. That part's glued. Come on. I may have a problem with order of operation today. I don't know if you've been able to notice that. Okay, there we go. Now, the next part is to fold this vellum around the pocket. Oh, shoot, and it came apart. Hang on a sec. I gotta get it resituated because it decided it should come apart. There we go. All right, so now here's what I'm going to do. I am going to do some initial folding, no gluing yet. Proper order of operation. Folding all three sides. No gluing. Skill issue. It is a skill issue. I am not very skilled at order of operation. Okay, so once I have those all folded, I'm going to go ahead and miter out this little edge right here, or this little corner piece. We don't need that, and it just makes things bulky. And I'm just, excuse me, things are rather clingy today, aren't they? Okay, so I just snip right down to the corner of the folds and right back out. Same thing on this side, although we have way more than we need. Let's just trim that. And then to the corner of the folds. And again. And I can even do that here at the top, although I don't want to do it very much. So I don't want to go all the way into where the paper and the vellum meet, because then I won't get any wraparound. And it's kind of important to get that little piece to go around. Because I don't know if you work with vellum much, but it is picky. Vellum is so picky. Then I have this special glue. Wrinkle-free glue stick. Oh, I'm running low though. I'm running low. I used to have 2 of these. This is my last one. And it's over half gone. Ooh, bummer. Okay. It's also a little old anyway. So, I mean, it's good that it's getting used, but. So this will help the pocket stay pockety. Rather than curl up and be more like, you know, I don't know, something weird that won't hold things. There we go. All right, there's our pocket. Not done. Not done, but moving along. Next thing I want to do is put a couple decorations on the pocket. This time, I think I'm going to do things in a way that make me happier and put the lace down first. And I want another piece of this edge because I like the ruffle best. Not a ruffle. It's not a ruffle. I like the scallop best. And I don't know how much I want, so I'm just cutting off a chunk. What if this time I make it a little intentional and do that? I don't want to do that. That kind of ruins the whole gate feel. What if I put it along the bottom? Again, I don't like that because that looks too forced. What if I put it sticking out of the pocket? That would make the pocket hard to use, and because it's vellum, it would show up weird. What if I put it on the edge like that? I kind of like that. Then the lace would end up on top though. So what would we put under it? Would be the next question. I actually have a bunch more pages. Let's look in here for something for this page. Maybe something a little brighter, more gardeny. There's a couple things in here. Like that's a little lighter and brighter, but it still has that purple in. And that's not lighter and brighter. A couple of these are, but yeah, really, this is why I'm using it, because most of it didn't turn out at all. My printer went all wonky. I got it fixed up now, though. That's good. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and try this piece. And let's see what it would be if I tucked this behind here. Like so-ish. I don't know. That's kind of weird looking. You know what I think? I think I'll move on to the tag, because maybe the tag will dictate what happens on the pocket. That's a good idea. All right, so first off, let's go ahead and repeat some of that background that we have on the ATCs, because cohesiveness in our project is a thing, a desirable thing. There we go. And there we go. And there we go. I don't like how lopsided they are, but I guess I'm doing this one all over, just in varying degrees of showing up. There we go. Oh, I said there you go again. Oh, all right. You know what I need? I need a drink. Well, hello, Casey. I am so happy to have you here. How are you? All right, let's see what we can do on here. Let's see. So let's start with an Adria paper. I kind of wanted to use the bird today, but I think the bird is just too big for all of these things. And then the rest are all the patterns. Wait a minute. I might get to use the ivy part. Let's cut that out. Maybe we can use this ivy. I love ivy. I really should tear it out, shouldn't I? So I'll cut it extra big and then I'll tear the edges. Okay, like so. Now, let's tear some edges around the ivy. And then maybe I'll get to use it. Oh my. How's work going, Casey? Hopefully you're having a decent day. Hopefully you're keeping busy, because that always helps the work day go by quicker. Hopefully customers are not being brats, because that makes the day more pleasant. All right, let's see what we got here. So there's the tag. My camera is lopsided, isn't it? Other way? No, this way. And let's pull in a little bit, and I'm not entirely sure what's wrong here, but the camera's looking goofy. All right, what if we do that? That's actually a decent start for this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Probably. I'm not really big on making commitments. And then I don't know if we can add structure on top of freeform, but I'm sure going to give it a try. Let's try that. And this. Whoops. Glue your fingers. Goodness sakes, man. Goodness sakes. I'm gluey. Wow. Okay, having trouble. How about that? And that. And that. Stay. Sit. Stay. Whatever. Close enough. At least I'm going to get an idea for what I'm doing. Then I think we need something. I'm not sure. Let's see what we got in this pile. You know what? I think I know. Hang on. Hang on. What if, oh shoot, what if we took a strip of the Adria paper like so and tucked it behind these? I was wrong. That's not the right thing. We might have to put more Adria paper on here, but not that piece right there. The other thought I had was the strips that are part of the kit. And I know there's another one here somewhere because I just had it in my grubby little paws a few minutes ago. There we go. So what about one of these? Rather be home. Yeah, I bet. Well, you know, there's that. I don't know if I care for this lady much. Let's try this really wild kind of spotty piece. I could always tear a piece off of that other chunk too, right? Because I think it needs to be fatter than these guys are. So what if we just tear a fat chunk off of this? Or that fat chunk right there? Or, oh, a fat chunk off of this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try this first. Because I think this might be the thing. This might be the thing, guys. What a mess. What a mess. Okay. And let's tear an extra fat chunk. So we have plenty of tucking material. So if this is going to go like so, this could then be back here. Nope, I don't like it. I don't like it anymore. Okay, now I do. Okay, what if I did that? And then this. And then this. Nope, that's looking stupid now. Now those are too dark. Okay, I'm going to try something different. What if I did this sideways and then this like so, and then this over here I sure don't like that either. Wow, I'm on a struggle bus today, guys. Struggle bus, struggle bus. Yep, I'm on the struggle bus. How about like so? Okay, now I think I might be doing something I'm happier with. And then I have to pull this way over here. And then like that. No, like this. Well, I'm liking it better balance-wise, but it doesn't make much sense as a tag to me. I don't know what to tell you. Now is the hour of my discontent, apparently. I think I'm going to do it anyway because if I'm admitting to myself that I am discontented, why, hello, Darcy. If I'm admitting to myself that I am discontented, then I'm probably not going to be happy no matter what I do. And I'll tell you a little secret. Peeps. If you are also an artist or want to be, but you hold yourself back because you get like I'm feeling right now, you don't like something. Here's the thing. Do it anyway. Because later on, if I look at this very same piece, I might wonder what the heck I was being so freaking picky about because it's lovely. I might still hate it. That could happen. But here's the thing. What's the problem with that? You're not going to love everything you do, but at least you did something. Art is so good for your brain, for your spirit, for your soul. Art is just good for you. So don't worry about, don't be like me. Don't overfuss so much. I overfuss. I'll admit it. I'm an overfusser. Overfusser. All right. I need to let that dry a bit before I trim it. So I'm going to try to figure out where I want this piece to be, or if I can even use this piece on here, because there are some things I'm not happy with about it. Well, wait a second. What if I do that? And then maybe I can cover up this part I'm not happy with the little pieces. Yes, actually, that is exactly what I'm going to do because I just thought of something else. I am going to end up putting a topper on this tag. That will be a great balance. Goodness sakes. See? Just keep trying. Just keep trying. Eventually, you will either like it or you won't. You know what, though? If you make something and you don't like it, don't get rid of it. Because I'm not kidding about that. How if you go back to it later, it'll be amazing thing. That happens so much just because you can't just keep looking at something and your eyes stay fresh. Your eyes start to deceive you. So even if you make something, yay, you made a thing. And if you don't like it, just hang on to it. And then leave it for a week or two even. And then go back to it. Okay, I don't want this centered. I need to make it off center, and it needs to look off center enough so it looks like it's off center on purpose. And look at me getting dirty glue fingers all over it. I'm going to go just like that. All right. Now the little bits. Little bits. Who's an artist wannabe? Is that you? You're an artist, aren't you? You know what? The funny thing is, everybody's an artist. Everybody on the planet. They just don't know it. Art. Create something that expresses an idea, an emotion, an attitude of something. And the truth of the matter is, everybody does that and they don't even necessarily realize they've done it. I'm going to have that go off the page a speck. And have this go off the bottom a speck. So those will get trimmed as soon as the glue dries just a little bit. All right, I'm going to leave this one just the way it is. It has room for a focal point should I decide to put one on, but I think it might end up lovely just the way it is as well. And it might give us direction for that pocket we made for it. In the meantime, this one has dried enough that I'm going to go ahead and cut it apart. Oh, I'm frightened, I am. Okay. Right there. And right there. Ready? Amy, are you going to come to Tuesday's live show when I teach Kim how to do paper crafting? Did you hear about that? Were you here on last Tuesday's sale day? Because I talked about this new project that I'm doing with a friend who thinks that she is not able to do the paper crafting. She really, really wants to. But she just doesn't know what to do and how to do stuff. So I am going to be teaching her some art stuff. There we go. There we go. And lastly, if you are really an artist wannabe, you should join in. You might find out you're more of an artist than you thought you were. Or if you don't, you might learn some stuff that you wanted to learn. I make zero promises. Zero, none. Because I don't claim to know more than anybody else. I just am going to, oh, that's the wrong trimmer. Shoot, rats, bummer. That is not what I wanted. Hold on. I can't quite reach the correct one. There we go. Anywho, the only thing I promise is that I can help guide Kim in a direction. That's the only thing I'm promising. There was a part not glued. There it is. Found it. Kim is a teacher for real, and I thought it was hilarious to do a class on art called The Teacher Gets Schooled. And she's going to be in summer school. So we thought that was pretty funny. All right, so I am doing these very traditional ATC. I did them vertically, and I am now trimming the corners to a proper ATC or any trading card standard, actually. And now I'm going to edge them, and then I'm going to show you some things about them that ended up being something I do not like at all, because I'm already seeing it, and I am unhappy. Ugh, grr. Arg. Okay, one, let go. Don't look, Darcy. Close your eyes. 2, 3. There's some things I do like about these too, so they're not a total fail, but there is something that I'm not liking that is a little trickier to watch out for the way I did these. So here's what it is. This one and this one both have the same problem that I'm not liking. And it is that the focal point piece, which in this case is the butterfly and the outward candle, are too centered to look like they weren't meant. They're too centered to make them look like they were off-centered on purpose, but not off-centered enough to make it look like I didn't mean to get them centered and failed. Also, this one doesn't have enough stuff. This one maybe has too much stuff. Let's look at the other two. This one is very non-cohesive. It's got a bunch of little stuff up here that makes no sense and a couple things down here that look like they don't really go with the other stuff. Don't like that one at all. This one is actually pretty okay, but could use maybe a sentiment or something up here to join this little bit. In any case, you can tell I'm out of practice. These are not particularly fabulous. Oh, Casey says they turned out fun. They did turn out fun. Here's what see you later, Casey. Bye. TTFN. Here's what I do like about them. The colors are cohesive, and the colors are cohesive with the confetti paper on the back. So these are not a complete fail. What they might need is a little bit more detailing or maybe another focal point, either or maybe both in some cases, but they don't have to be done right now. So it is okay to have things done mostly, and then whatever project your pieces end up going into, if in fact they go into a bigger project, then you add to it at that time. So then it goes with your bigger project. So let's set the ATCs aside and take a look back at the tag we're working on, the tag and the pocket. There we go. So we have the pocket, and I'm going to go ahead and edge the pocket because I edge everything. Oh, I kind of want to round the corners on the top of the pocket, but then I kind of don't. So I'm going to leave it for now. I can always go back and do it later. I'm going to let this ink dry because it takes a while and I always make such a big mess. And I don't have any of my big scissors in my studio anymore. I don't know where I put them, but they are all over the house, not where they belong. So let's use the little detail scissors to trim this down. Rawr. I could pull out the guillotine too. I love the way a guillotine just cuts your paper so precisely. You can get such little slivers off. Kind of fabulous. But you don't need it. Let go. Let go. All right. There we go. Now we have a tag that is going to go.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I didn't ask you. Now we have a tag that's going to go in this pocket, and it looks like I might have glued the pocket shut. Wow, I didn't think that through at all, did I? Huh. I wonder if anybody was yelling and screaming when they saw me do that. I have completely glued that pocket shut. Let's see if I can get it open or not. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. That's not coming. That's not going to come open. Wow. Okay. I did say I was having trouble with order of operation today. There's proof positive right there. But there is a way. There is a way to fix this. And I'm just deciding how to do it. So if there's a way to fix almost everything. In fact, I would say there's a way to fix everything. It's just if it's worth it or not. This is worth it because I really like that arch behind the vellum. It's going to kind of get wrecked the way I'm going to fix this, though. Wait. I don't have to wreck it, do I? I can just chop this off right here. I'm going to chop this off right here instead. Hi, Ninian. Nice to see you. All right, let's just get rid of that. And then this is definitely not the pocket I intended, but this is better than throwing it away. I'll just add an edge right here, and now this is just a plain old glue down pocket. There is nothing wrong with that. So now that's a glue down pocket, and there's the tag that will go in it. So let's work on the tag while some of that ink dries. First things first, I want a thing, an eyelet. There we go. I want an eyelet in this one. So there we go. And I need to find an eyelet. I don't even know where they are, to be honest. I have been freezing cold. Here's the thing. This is so weird. The weather was really, really hot, like crazy hot for a couple of days. And I was freezing and I had to wear a sweater, which is what I just moved out of the way, my sweater. And then it got chilly. So today it's actually a little chilly for summer standards. I think it's 68 or something like that. It's not cold, but certainly not a summer day, right? And now I'm hot. I'm not entirely sure what's the deal with getting that all backwards and sideways, but I got it all backwards and sideways. Are this my eyelets? No, that's not my eyelets. That's jewelry findings. Did I put my eyelets in here? I mean, I know you can't see what here is, but it would make sense if I did, because I'll show you just a sec. Just a sec. Because the here I'm referring to is a box of metal stuff. Oh, look, there's eyelets in here. 2 different sizes even. Good girl. It's a box full of metal findings. Metal bits and bobs. For today, for this tag, I just want a plain old-fashioned eyelet. Plain old-fashioned. And kudos to me for putting something where it belongs. Good job, girl. Good job. Okay, I want a black one or dark bronze. I'm not sure. I think it's black. Hard to tell right now. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. There. Okay. Let's see here. Rawr. Grr. Okay, that looks like it missed part of the paper. Let's try it, squishing it a bit more. There is no more though, is there? Okay. Now, I think this one needs a focal point that we just don't have in the Stuff Among Us. So I'm going to, stand up. Oh my gosh. Who in the world invented that whole standing up thing? That's just a dumb idea. Okay, I'm going to stand up and grab this. This is my giant stack O die cut, fussy cut stuff. And we're going to find something or some things to go on this tag. Let's get rid of this guy. Is that the locked? I'm not sure which way do you lock it? Does it? There we go. All right. Lock it. Okay. So this is going to be a bow or a knot or a something on the top. So I'll pull that over so I have a color reference. And then we need something dark romance on here. He would definitely work, but it's a little much. Just a little out of control. How about a magical dragonfly? Not, well, I mean, if it was with a flower, maybe we need two things. It's got the right colors going on, that's for sure. Ooh, how's this guy for dark romance? Kitties! Oh, that's actually really pretty. Okay, well, I mean, like, go. A dragonfly glued to my fingers. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm going to move this over. If you see anything in the tray that you want me to try, you could request. Just know that if I miss it, I'm sorry, but I'm not always reading chat, right? Because I'm working. I'm working here, people. What do you want? I kind of like the cat. I kind of like the dragonflies too. So let's leave those both out. And let's look at a different tray. Ooh, flowers. We could repeat the viney theme. That would be kind of cool. And do that. It doesn't really create a focal though, does it? It doesn't really create what I want. It's beautiful though. Let's see. How about one of these? I think this is white confetti on the other side. That might not work. White confetti doesn't exactly do dark romance, does it? Again, super pretty though. Gosh, I gotta start using some of this stuff. Oh, I threw the cat away and I didn't want to. Poor kitty. Let's see what we got in here. We got a daisy. Again, that is not dark romance. Let's see. What about that with the dragonfly? With a smaller dragonfly. Kind of, but something's not right about it. Something's not right about this. I'm not sure what's not right about it, but I'm going to leave that sit there too, because I'm thinking, I'm pondering, and then I'll read what you guys got going on in case you have figured it out before me and have sage words of wisdom. I like that, but I don't like cartooniness, and I don't like the white border. This might be dark romancy. A dead flower. Maybe that's a little too dark. That's a little too bright. That's a little just right. Haha. Okay, maybe it's not, but I had to go with Goldilocks kind of thing going. I was kind of having a Goldilocks moment. Okay, I don't like any of that. What if this goes up farther? This goes up farther. Come on, get. That is way too precise. That looks ridiculous. Take it down a little. Turn it a little. I don't hate that either, but it's not really fixing the card. It's not making it feel done. All right, let's try another tray. What do we got? We got butterflies. I don't want a butterfly. So there. What do we have in here? We have gnomes. It's not all cutesy though. What about that? No. Not quite. Not right. Not quite right. How about, how about just a candle? Too centered, but if I move it over, and then put one flower behind and one in front, and move it over. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Come down here. Come on. Behave. Sit where I want. Right there. Okay. What about that? I'm going to leave that one. I'm kind of liking it. TTFN. Have fun, Darcy. Okay, I think I might be doing this. No, I don't want any frames. I don't want any tickets for that. I don't want a medallion. Oh, that's so pretty, but it's just not right. I'm going to leave that out though, because I have an idea for something else. I got me an idea. No tickets. Oh, there we go. I want that out. I want this tiny dragonfly out. And just a quick peek in here before I say I'm committing. This is not loaded with dark romance. This is the forest right here. Okay. magical and otherwise. Oh wait, I'm quitting. Where's the cover? Did I? Oh, it's underneath. All right, there we go. Let's move that out of here then. And I am going to go ahead with this. And there's a few different reasons I like this situation. One is this mirrors the nature bit right here, and it covers up kind of this join, creating it a bit more cohesive, which is one of my favorite art words, cohesive. So there we go. I'm going to have this sticking off just a tiny speck. Like so. So just one little berry is going to get trimmed a tiny, tiny speck. But I like doing that because it makes it feel like the design must continue. Then we got this guy. And I want this off center on purpose. So I think I want it way over like this, which is different than I had it before. And then maybe this flower goes behind after all. No, it can't. Maybe this flower doesn't go at all anymore. Oops. Maybe, oh shoot, what have I done? What have I done? I changed the design and now I'm not happy. Okay, maybe I pull this back up like so. And then put this back like so. Oh man, that's terrible. What have I done? Huh, I wrecked my own design. I wrecked my own design, people. Shoot. Okay, how about if I have this in here and this over here? No, that can't be there. This can be over here though. How about like so? And like so. Do I like the new idea? Nope, I sure don't. Wow, I'm picky today. I don't like that at all, though. That is ridiculous. That is way too contrived. All right, I are frustrated. Folks. What if I put this here? What if I put the this piece of ivy over and under? And, you know, get all the glue and hair off of me. Oh, okay. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I are tired. It's Darcy's fault. I don't know if you caught that, but she is the one who mentioned running out of steam. And clearly my brain said, ooh, good idea. Clearly, that's what happened. How about a piece of the lace? Could we do that? Wait, would this work? I want the ruffle part sticking out from behind all this, like so. And then, like so. Whoops, let go. Oh, that's terrible. That's absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. No. Okay, that was not good at all. Okay, what if I pull this over here and have it fix my little corner problem that I'm having? Then it looks way too centered on purpose, which I've already mentioned a bunch of times I do not like. What if I pull it over like so? Then it looks like it's not centered and not on purpose. And then I could maybe maybe I do this. And then bring the flower back. Ow. I mean, not ow. I mean, oh. Don't do that. Okay. And then how about that? I am not in love with that, but I do not hate it either. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to do this right here. I can't just hem and haw all day. What in the world will I ever get done? I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but it sounds like someone's in my house. I mean, someone other than the person who lives upstairs. I heard somebody at the door, I think. Huh. I heard somebody open the door. Oh, well. I guess we'll figure it out later. All right. All right. Let's do that. Let's take a piece of this ivy. Might have been a kitty at the door, it sounds like, because I hear somebody upstairs yelling for kitties. Okay, so I kind of like that thing I just did. First of all, I turned this over so the darker side is up, so that brings this piece of ivy forward from the others. I also tucked the little edge under the little edge of the candle holder, making that look like a joined piece. So I like that. And then, where'd the flower go? The flower that I am repeatedly unhappy with, but I'm going to use anyway because I don't know what else to do. Okay, just like so. Just like so. Okay, there is definitely talking upstairs. What the heck? What the heck is going on? Okay. I'm going to call that done. For now, I don't know if it's done. We'll find out. And snip that little bit off. And then there was a tiny speck old berry over here that I wanted to snip off. Right there. Whoops. It's so tiny, I missed a smidge. Okay. And then I'm going to do the edging because it's what I do. And we're going to go kind of harsh edging on all of these today just because of the dark romance thing. And because I think it goes with a lot of the stuff that I'm putting on here. Okay, there we go. And then let's pull off a chunk of this velvet ribbon. And I'm going to tie a knot in each end because this stuff frays like nobody's business. Okay, pull that tight and we can trim it. We don't need it that long. And another one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am roasting. Goodness sakes, man. Okay, there we go. Trim that bit. And then I don't know how I want to do this, but I think I want a bow. Let's see if we can get a bow on the top of this. Or if I cut it way too small for a bow. My fat fingers don't like tying bows when I make the string too small. All right. Right there. Right there. Stay. Sit. Stay. Actually, I want this to shift. I want the bow to be at the top of the eyelet, not at the top of the card. So I'm going to shift. There we go. I'm going to shift that knot down. Let's see if I can get a bow. Yikes. I don't know. Okay, way too long. Get back here. Here we go. There we go. I think I got what I wanted. Let's see. I did. I got a droopy bow hanging on the card. A droopy velvet bow. In order for that to stay, I'm going to put just one little drop of glue tucked inside this bow. Just so it stays tied and in place. Okay, so there we go. And then there is the pocket that it's going to go in. Should we put the cat on the pocket? Ooh. Or put a dragonfly on the pocket? Maybe put a little border over here with the smaller dragonfly. With half a cat. With a great big dragonfly. That's kind of cool. What do you think? Anybody who gives their opinion, I'm going to follow whatever opinion I see first. Sadly, the house is clear, Mom. Sadly, it's clear? I don't understand that. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this dragonfly business, but I think I'm going to do it because I'm kind of liking it. I'm going to go ahead and edge this whole piece. It'll end up getting cut off, so I'll have to edge that whatever section gets cut off again, but that's okay. And then I'm going to look at maybe putting that section of lace in because I'd really like to. I find it very difficult to use lace. What if I have the scallops just sticking out like so? What if I made it more exacting? What if I made it more exact? I don't do that very often. But I could totally put the dragonfly right on the line like so. I'm going to do that. I don't know what's gotten into me, but I'm gonna. Oh, shoot. Mr. Luke says it looks good, so we're going to go with that. We're going to go with it. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's plop that right there. We're going to plop this right along it. I need to get my hair to stop. I have a single hair that is not behaving. And I don't want, I mean, as much as people might want my DNA so they can grow their own personal me, I'm not sure I like that idea. So I will try to leave my DNA out of this as much as possible. All right, so there we got the two little scallops just sticking out a bit. And then I am going to try to line the dragonfly. That ought to be interesting because the ink stays wet and he's all full of angles and corners. Yikes. Some parts are pretty easy. Others are not so much, but I'm not going to look for perfection. I'm just going to try to get something done. All right, a dot on the head and the body. A little on each wing. And we're good. And dragonfly. I like him on the upper half. There we go. Now this also will have to get trimmed. Oh, shoot. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right, let's set that up there. It needs to dry. This needs to be trimmed and it needs to dry. It's a pocket though. I don't need to take the dragonfly's wings off, do I? Because they could actually be glued to the page that this is attached to. So I'll just trim these two parts, but not his wings. All right, there we go. So we got a tag and a pocket, and I got one more piece I want to try to do, although I'm getting really, really tired. So I'm not sure. I might have to come back this evening or tomorrow instead, but let's try to take a look at the book situation. So I want to make a tiny book. And here's what we have: a lot of stuff left to do that with. And that's why I pulled out these little circles, because I like those. Let's see. I should be tearing this. I think I'm going to tear some edges and see if we can get... Shoot. And you know what I just thought of? That's really not a page I wanted to tear. I should really have a plan before I do stuff. Okay. I want to tear this edge and this edge. And it's easier if you do the small bit. Gives you more to hang on to. Oh, and then I tore the page. Okay, anyway, that's my idea. If I tear these bits off, I will have horizontal pages. This book won't be as tiny as I originally thought, though. When I said I wanted to do a tiny book, I meant tiny, tiny. And this is going to be more, you know, little than tiny. Okay. Torn edges, torn edges. Let's do another one. Let's do this one. Oh, good grief. You know what? I have a cheat code for this. I wonder if it's here. Nope, it's in the other room. Wait, nope, it's right. Nope, that's not it either. What the heck? Huh. It's in the other room. I have a scissors that does a decal edge. It's not great. But it works in a pinch. I'm going to have to do all four sides. Okay. So now I'll have to do these two, because now I did two. I have to do four, because that's, I mean, whatever. Not that I did some, I have to do all of them, because that's just the way I am. And this last bit, I know tearing is not exactly exciting to hang out for, but this is a real-time process situation, right? I would like to say it doesn't bother me that the paper is slipping and now I have weird angles in my tears, but it absolutely does bother me. But I'm trying to get over that. if you're letting yourself go wonky, you got to let yourself go wonky. I mean, you can't be wonky and not wonky at the same time, I don't think. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. I got 4 full pages. Oh, I have a 5th full page. I have 5 full pages. This could actually be a pretty decent journal. Little tiny pocket variety. Maybe I'll leave that as the cover. I think you're going to be the cover because you're pretty. And I'm going to do some strange folding bits for this. So I'll do that. And then I'll do this. And then I'll do, ooh, this one's ripped. Then I'll do that. And then I'll do 2 that are pretty much the middle. Sure, why not? Okay, and then I'll do this in the middle. So that's just going to be kind of a hinge. And we can do this one the same as a hinge. And then let's take the Adria paper and do a couple of pages out of Adria paper. Save the scraps. You never know what you can make out of the scraps. Okay, and then let's see. So 1 is about like that. I can definitely get 2. So I'm going to tear this again right here. And then I'm going to make sure that they're not too terribly tall because I kind of want the heights to be the same. And I have a feeling this is just a smidge. It is just a smidge too tall. We will remove the smidge. All right, ready, Freddie? Here we go. So this is something that I just learned, but apparently a bunch of other people already knew how to do this. But I watched Patty on Sacred Mementos totally not do a tutorial on this. And I didn't learn a thing, Patty. So if you're seeing this video, don't stress. I promise I didn't learn a thing. But even after not learning a thing, I'm going to try this gluing journal together in this weird way. So let's see. Huh. Okay, so apparently what you do is you take a folded paper and a folded paper of various sizes, any sizes. I don't think measurements really matter in this method. And you just line up their folded edge and you glue them together like so. And then look, so if that's all I was going to do, which it's not, but then I have a page and a page And I could put something in here, couldn't I? I could put a single sheet in here. What if I did this? It's too tall, but I could tear off. I'm going to tear off the top. What am I doing? I'm tearing off the top. That's what I'm doing. Here. Okay. I'm going to put this right here. I don't think this was part of what was shown, but like I said, I didn't learn anything. So I'm doing whatever I want because it was totally not a tutorial. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I can't see where we're. There we go. I'll do that. Okay, I might have to trim that off if I can't scoot it in more. Ah, did you hear that? A layer came off. There we go. Oh, whatever. Okay. I may need to adjust that. Okay, so whatever. Now take another folded piece and line it up and glue it right on the last folded piece. Like so. That's the top, which means that's the top, which means this has to go this way. And you just want to make sure that all of this is lined up. Nice as can be. Huh. You know what? I'm going to take it apart because I want to fold this way and glue it on here instead. Okay, that's probably going to be a problem because now I have glue on the inside of the book and it's going to get glued to itself. And it's upside down. I'm going to tear that right off and put it aside. So I'll show you what I was trying to do if I can figure this out here. Okay, there is definitely somebody at the door. What the heck? Okay. Wow, that was way more complicated than it needed to be. I told you I didn't learn anything. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, did I do it upside down? No, I didn't. Good, good, good. All right. So now I got this double situation going on because I glued on both sides of this hinge. But what I want to do is tuck this under and glue it like so, and turn it into a tuck spot. Actually, I'm gonna do it a little more dramatically. More like that. And then like that. There we go. So now this page has some white showing. I don't like that. I'll do something about it when I finish this book off, but there's a tuck spot right there in the book. Good, good, good. There's the pages, and there's another page. And then let's move on because that's getting ridiculous. Oh, I was right. There is a person here. He's not usually that disgusting, but you know. Yeah, you.
Sorry. I'm gonna lay down.
Let's see here. I am going to glue stuff together. That's what I'm going to do. Not that one. I'll do this one. Oh, an Adria page. Let's put that right here. Okay. Like so. And make sure those folded edges line up really nicely. As straight as I can get them. I have an idea for something that will help me and my goofy hands keep this straight if I ever want to do this again. And I think I do, because once is not enough to actually learn and decide if I like it. So I might have Luke print something up. Okay, now I'm going to glue up this side, and I'm going to do the whole page and glue this down. Then I think I'm going to put another hinge in. Let this one make a pocket again. I'm actually going to fold this edge over so it makes a really sturdy tuck spot. So I'm going to glue it down right here. And I'm going to glue just this little folded edge. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Got it. Got it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. And then let's see. I'm gluing pages together. I don't want glued together. I am reaching the end of my tether today. So now I'm going to switch this, what I'm going to do. And that won't work for what I want. So let's see here. Let's see. All right, we'll take this one. I'm going to glue this one right there. And we're going to make this a pocket. So wait, do I want that? Yeah, I guess I do. So I'm going to put a little right here, across the bottom, tiny bit, and a little up the side. Make a tuck spot right here. There we go. And I'll have a tuck spot right here. And because I'm reaching the end of my tether, I'm going to put the, I'm going to put the cover on. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this whole page. And I'm going to line this up where I want it and how I want it. And wrap it around to create the spine. And I'm actually going to make sure that I create a fold right there. There we go. One little tiny book, and some stuff needs trimming, but that's done. And it's not a micro book like I usually make when I say tiny, but it's a book nonetheless. And it's small. Small, not tiny. But let's take a look at what we have. When the glue dries, it'll be much better, but there we go. Open a page, turn the page. I'm gonna have to glue that down. That's a tuck spot, or that's a pocket actually. And I can glue this edge a little better right there. Actually, this side too. What was I thinking? I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I got it the way I want it now. There we go. Then a big page. And another big page. And an Adria page. There is that another tuck spot? Nope. So let's get some more glue right there. Just a bit of a hinge. And there's the tuck spot right there. So we need a couple cards for this thing. And there's the back. I'm going to let this thing dry. This is just swimming in glue. Swimming, I tell you. So I'm going to set that back there. Let this one dry. And then I'll show you what else we made today. So we made that little book that needs to dry, but I did the flip through already. And then we made these 4 ATCs that are going to a friend of mine that I was supposed to send ATCs to 6 months ago. And then we did a pocket with a tag that goes in. And that was the start of highlighting specially dyed papers. Testing the stuff from Adria, which, by the way, Adria, they turned out lovely. And I also showcased one of my own tea-dyed papers and tea-dyed paper from Jen Katie. So lots of different ideas about what dyed papers look like, and they all fit together very nicely. It worked lovely. But 3 little projects out of just a few pieces of paper. And yeah, that one's soggy. All right, I gotta run. See you later, folks. Bye. Oh, thanks for tuning in. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll be back. Bye.